freaking hell.
Yeah, wobbly behind the wheel. You can see that playing out in real time here live. Talk about those speeds on service streets. According to Skyfox here, we're up to 100 miles per hour as we're cruising along the 101. And Tim, when we talk about these suspects, whether it's a stolen vehicle suspect, I mean, a DUI suspect has to be one of the worst out there given the impaired person behind the wheel. Yeah, I've seen that too.
So exciting police pursuit here in Los Angeles. I don't even know where the Woodland Hills is because there's a million freaking neighborhoods in LA. But somebody is about to get arrested, probably, although we have seen in the past. Oh, yeah, they got the LAPD is not backing off on this one. I have seen in the past people escape the police by pulling into large parking structures. This individual does not look like they're going to have that luck thus far. Ooh, get a little sketchy here. I'm thinking this is not going to last for more than 5 or 10 minutes because this guy is driving crazy and you just can't catch that many green lights in the city. And if they're fucked up, they're going to head on collision or have to deal with traffic and just not be able to manage. So far, they seem to be navigating. Oh, wait, is there an exit to this? Oh man, the cop's right on his tail, too. This is not. Man, that highway patrol officer is on him. Good man, that guy is a freaking champ. Champ of a highway patrol officer. They're keeping that heat on, and this guy is not letting up. Driving like a freaking maniac, 80 miles an hour down city streets, just really reckless. Don't see how he can keep this up. I don't see how that's possible. Winnetka. Is that even in California? I don't think. This is LA Live News Tonight. It should be somewhere around LA. Ooh, do not hit the people crossing the street, please. That would definitely be a good 10 to 20 in prison. They're already looking at prison time for this reckless driving, evading arrest. Oh, wrong side of the street. Super sketch.
Right now, we don't know if it's a he or she that's driving. It really doesn't matter at this point. It's just trying to get this driver stopped because the method which they're pursuing along here, eventually they're going to lose control of this vehicle and end up either hitting somebody in an intersection.
So do a pit maneuver, you goddamn babies.
So on the wrong side of the street, CHP officer kind of working over with him, hopefully trying to get him on a turn because that's pursuit like this.
Oh, that was such a good opportunity for a pit maneuver.
Turn when they slow down, you have to be ready for it, get in there, and get on that fender. But unfortunately, I have not seen the two other police vehicles behind because you really need 3 units to do a pit maneuver and do it successfully. Very hard turn to the right here. It's just, drivers sticking with it. I mean, handling this car very well. Obviously, that one spike strip they put out didn't work. All 4 tires seem to be in good shape, just other than that little bit of damage on that left front fender. So CHP sticking with it. You see the LAPD airship flying through. They're the ones calling the pursuit, and they're on LAPD frequencies as well as onto CHP frequencies, keeping everybody informed of the direction of travel and speeds on this vehicle.
Ooh.
Look at this, just
Hard
making
right
a right
turn,
turn.
and now we're gonna go left again, just to try and get away from CHP. Talk about how CHP now taking over, Tim, the difference that this could make, in terms of, CHP tends to be a little bit more aggressive, no?
That was exactly what I was thinking, yeah. LAPD has been very pulled back on their pursuit policies. They very rarely will stick with a pursuit like this. It's just a matter of policy and procedure for each department. Now, CHP has a more aggressive type pursuit policy. They'll stay with the subject and stay with it as long as they can, try to take them into custody and figure out a way to stop this. If it gets too much more than what it is right now, I'm pretty sure that CHP commander is going to go, hey, we've had enough of this, let's get off it. The only reason they came back into the pursuit is because it got on the freeway and was looking like it was going to stay on the freeway. Once CHP takes over pursuit, the other allied agencies, as they're called, do not get involved. CHP does not allow allied agencies to be involved in any pursuit in which they have control of. So,
Ooh, wrong side of traffic. Fuck's sake.
the CHP officer will inform the area that they need to back out. If they don't, they will terminate the pursuit as far as CHP. But this CHP officer is sticking with it, and looks like we might have an LAPD unit back in primary there. It looks like an Explorer vehicle there. It's a little wider, but that does look like an LAPD car.
Yeah, so,
As they push through.
our executive producer is in fact confirming that it is now LAPD. So what is with the back and forth toggle between who runs this and who doesn't?
It's who area it's in, and the reason they do that is for the familiarity of the area. If they know the streets, the LAPD officers that work these surface streets know them very well. They know the area because that's their area of responsibility. CHP is real good about the freeways. They know their freeways. They know their areas around the freeways. Also, it's the responsibility and the liability if you get down to the very base of it. Who's liable for the pursuit now? CHP is backed out.
You know, in 2026, I feel like we should have better technology than just chasing a motherfucker. Like, this is pretty ridiculous. They have the thing where the net comes out of the tires and you get it under the tires and it stops the car and it's totally chill. Point enough guns at the person, they're going to get out and put their hands up, probably, hopefully.
Not going to get away from the helicopter. This driver's not going to get away from the helicopter, but you're able to stay back and drive a little safer. But man, they're really on this. Those turns are really wide apart. And the thing now is that the officer has to think about is that vehicle, its brakes are heating up. And the more it heats up, you get into a situation what's called brake fade, to where the brakes just stop working as efficiently as you think they're going to. You come up to an intersection, you smash on the brakes, and there's nothing there because they heat up so much that the brakes don't operate.
Now, that's a really interesting concept. I wouldn't think a chase like this would cause brake fade, but I suppose could.
As you're chasing, you want to make sure you take care of that because I've seen officers come up.
Come on, pit this motherfucker. Stop being bitches. Every second this guy is driving around like a maniac is just super dangerous for everybody.
Come out wide, watching it go down. Luckily, traffic kind of thinned down a bit in this area, but speeds are up in the 70s, and that's way too fast for the conditions and for the type of roadway they're
So that's a really interesting point that they're making, that other drivers don't have an idea of what's going on. Why can't we sync this information with Google Maps, Waze, county emergency alert, something? We have the technology to do that too. You know? You could easily get killed with this idiot driving the way that they are. If you're a pedestrian, if you're in a vehicle, if you're on a bicycle, this should be a notice to every single person within a 10-mile radius. It should just be something that you could sign up for, or maybe something that they just push out onto your phone. Not that difficult.
Guys just blacked out, and unless you give people, damn, look at that turn, just at the last minute, deciding to make that turn, thinking they're gonna get away from that unit that's behind them. And, obviously, that's not gonna happen. You have that 50,000 Cannon Power night sun shining on you, you know you're not gonna get away from that A-star that's overhead. But yeah, you don't know what's in there, and yeah, use the officer that initiated this pursuit, saw something with the vehicle, assumed it may be a DUI because maybe weaving, maybe something that was the mannerism which the person was driving.
Well, the fact that they're running from the police would seem to indicate that they're doing something stupid.
DUI, but you have to expect the worst because it's a lot easier as that officer on the scene to expect the worst. And when you do that, you're teed up, ready for whatever may happen, and then you're able to back down and force continuum as it develops at the end of the pursuit because it's very hard to play catch up than it is to slow down. So you have to keep that in mind.
Let me just jump in here really quickly. We're hearing, we're working to get this confirmed, that the driver may be armed. How much more dangerous does this make this entire event, Tim?
It just makes the unit very dangerous because now the officer's gonna be on high alert. They're gonna be very careful when this thing comes to an end. They're not gonna be as casual as they would with just a drunk driver. And now with the information, how that came out as the weapons, you see going by another crime scene there almost looked like. But anyway.
Where the fuck is Winnecta is what I want to know.
Up to a 9.5, touching the 10.
So Winnecta,
Be ready
where the fuck is
Now
this?
you have credible information, this driver is armed,
North.
they're trying to get away.
So Winnecta is like
Should stop. It's he or she
west of Burbank, I guess.
by firing at you, by running with a gun.
Okay.
You have to chase an armed individual
So about
in the darkness and try to catch him without getting yourself hurt.
10 miles west of Burbank. That's where Winnecta is. I did not know that.
And the end of the pursuit is the most dangerous because you don't know what's gonna happen and you're trying to catch up at the end, but you're ready for anything. So, right now, we're just lucky, this driver hasn't hit anybody at these speeds going down these, regular surface streets, but on brakes, making that turn up, change your mind, go straight, right through a red light.
Yeah, you've noticed some front end damage, driver's side, unclear how that damage got there. There have been, we're told now, at least 2 spike strip attempts. That has not stopped this pursuit. If you're just joining our coverage, maybe you're streaming us online, foxla.com/live. Thanks for jumping on. This is a really dangerous situation now in Chatsworth. We picked it up in Encino. Speeds in the 70s, 80 mile per hour on the.
Well, they're going to run out of gas eventually.
90 miles per hour on the highway. We saw 100 plus miles per hour.
And they're going to spend, I mean, God, these days in California, wouldn't even surprise me if they get on bail, get out on bail, or even just get released in a couple days. Would not surprise me.
Back in charge, you see it's a 4-door silver sedan.
This person should not be able to drive for the rest of their life. I'm sorry. You do something this fucking insane, you lose your right to drive forever. And maybe that, not like that would stop people from being stupid and doing this shit, but it would just get them off the road. Yeah, sucks that you got to take the bus and Uber forever, but you decided to endanger multiple cities with your idiocy.
Leave the windows down. Maybe we can get a peek at this signal here, Skybox zooms in, but you see that tinted windows have just a little bit open at the
Dude, this guy is about to just fucking T-bone someone straight up. Would not even surprise me.
They see a set of headlights coming at them, they're getting ready to make that right turn or that left turn, and they're expecting that vehicle to be at 30 miles an hour, and they don't recognize that that speed is double that, and they start a left turn and realize that car got on me a lot quicker than I expected. That's where you end up with that T-bone and crash in the middle of the intersection.
See? See? Tim agrees with me.
Expecting anybody to be coming along.
Tim knows what I'm talking about.
It's just a matter of time here before this driver either loses control of this vehicle and hits a curb or hits an object or hits a parked car, or the worst off, it hits somebody, hits another driver in the middle of the intersection, and that's the one thing that LAT has to weigh on continuing this pursuit. And with the information that there's possible a firearm involved, now what other information do they have? How did they get that information about the firearm? Is there something else? Did this person commit a crime? Because in my experience as a police officer, 30 years, over 30 years, this person is trying to get away and not give up. And these speeds aren't the joyride that we've seen, where you see suspects cruising at 50 miles an hour, obeying the traffic laws, using their turn signals and things of that sort. We've seen so many other pursuits. This person is definitely trying to make distance and get away from the officer behind him, but as I said earlier, sticking in the same area. We've been in this area pretty much the whole pursuit, other than a little stint on the 101 freeway. So my theory is that this person is trying to stay in familiar area until they can get a little distance with that car behind. So right there, it's starting to go through, went through on the red. That was just a matter of 15 seconds more to get it to have traffic crossing in front of them. So that's the luck we're having so far. But LAP did a great job sticking with them, and luckily nothing's happened at this point. But the only thing they have right now is a spike strip or a possible pit if this person slows down on one of those turns.
Yeah, and doubtful that will happen, given that since we've been on the air, I think 50 miles per hour is the slowest that we've seen in this driver going, if that. So speeds in the 70s right now, DeSoto Avenue and Ingomar Street, Canova Park. LAPD, they're now in charge of this pursuit, crossing over the double yellow, sharp left turn through that intersection. Satapoy Street is what we're on right now. DUI suspect wanted. This has been going on for some time, and no word yet on if any vehicles have been hit, because there is some front end damage to this.
Yes, you've mentioned that like 10 times, lady.
That happened during this pursuit. Winnetka now, extreme nav technology.
So it didn't get there magically.
Law enforcement specialist with decades of law enforcement under his belt and his career.
Man, can we give props? Can we just take a moment and give props to the CHP officer who's been following this crazy POS? Because what that CHP officer wants to do is they actually want to make an arrest. They want to get this person off the road, not a canceled pursuit, not they got away, not, we felt it was dangerous to follow them. Well, it is dangerous to follow them, and to some extent being chased can make a person act crazy, but you're supposed to pull over. Because if you're not doing anything wrong, you pull over, you get what you get. Hopefully nothing. If you are doing something wrong, you should still pull over, because pulling over and dealing with whatever you got going on is going to be better than doing this shit. This never makes anyone's life better. Like, you're not living in a movie. You are not going to outrun the police helicopter. See, that was a fucking clear. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And we have crashed because it was bound to happen. And now we got guns out. Get out of the fucking vehicle. Do not fucking move. Put your hands out, or we are gonna fucking blast you. And this person is very, very close to getting shot. I hope they do not get shot, but they had better act very appropriately. Hands out the window. It's good. Do not get shot. Even as stupid and reckless and irresponsible and disgusting as this behavior is, there may be a snowball's chance in hell at redeeming this individual's life at some point in the future. Probably not the near future, but maybe the medium to long term future. But how the fuck they got to a point in their life where they thought this was the best course of action, that is what is more important here. Wish we had audio.
You line up an arrest team and you slowly approach that car. Shield officer protecting the lead, walking up on that driver, and they're, they have information that he is armed, and they're gonna go up, and now, what you have to then go to, from chasing this person for the last 40 minutes, lower your adrenaline, now you become a point where you have to render aid to this person you just chased for the last 40 minutes. And so that's a scenario, you have to go from, life-threatening situation now to a rescue, and go in there and make sure that they're okay. They may not be able to get out of the car, but you see right now, they're just working on the driver. It looks like they're gonna cut that seatbelt, to get the seatbelt out of the way. You see that one officer, it looks like that's what he's doing, cutting, and then work on extracting that driver from the car.
Tim, let me just jump in here really quickly. So this is this is Satakoy, and we just lost the location there. Forgive me, but this is where the out-of-control moment happened. That driver is now needing to be rescued by LAPD officers. Doesn't seem, I can tell you with certainty that.
Oh no, we're losing video. There we go. And we're gonna cut to commercial. Well, there you have it, folks. That was a typical night here in LA. Some crazy mofo trying to run from the police for 40 minutes ends up crashing, almost killing themselves. If they wrapped around that pole, oh, would have been gone. Would have been gone if they wrapped around that telephone pole.
that's what you have to do. As a police officer, you chase this person for the last 30, 35 minutes. There's reports of it being armed. This person is driving at 80, 70, 60 miles an hour through intersections, and because a car pulled across the intersection on a green light, it's swerved a little bit, lost control, and hit this pole. You now have to pull up on the driver, protect yourself because you don't know what's going to happen at this point. But at some point, it turns into an arrest and be very ready for any type of violence. To now, I have to back up on this, get my shield out, and walk up on this possibly armed suspect because they may be hurt in the car. There was a verbal exchange between the officers and the driver. More likely, a driver said, "I can't get out, I'm hurt." Now, as a first responder, you have to respond in a manner to render aid at that point, but also protecting yourself at the same time because you don't know if they're
Man, what a. No, that's so true. What such a. The guy they have on the phone is definitely one of the better experts I've seen on the news or heard on the news in this case. Well, we're going to go ahead and end coverage because, well, it's pretty much over. But thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep prepping.